to be the greatest country in the world. And it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for. And if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right. What's going on, America? Welcome to another episode of Dear America. We have to talk about a lot of things today. Dr. Fauci is apparently, maybe it's time. Maybe accountability has finally come for Lord Fauci, as we used to call him during the COVID trials, as I will forever refer to it as. The Hunger Games, but with staying in your basement. Either way, we got a lot of things to talk about. If you believe that Anthony Fauci should come to justice in some way, comment justice in the chat right now. Let's go ahead and get the chat blowing up. Also, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark, and I know. Oh, Graham, we don't like sports. We don't like it when you're talking about. Shh. Just stop it. Stop. We have to talk about this stuff because it is, in my opinion, overtly reverse racism, what is happening to Caitlin Clark, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about these things. A lot of things to talk about today, but this is the point where business out of the way first. We need you to make sure that you hit that like button. The more you hit the like button, the more people follow or see this episode. If this is your first time watching this show, make sure to hit the follow button or the subscribe button, depending on where you're watching from. Comment in the chat. Let me know where you're watching. I know that it may sound dumb to you. Well, I'm on Rumble, dummy, or I'm on Facebook. Well, we see everything combined now because we have that technology and we're good like that. So we can see those things. Super chats or super questions. If you want us to make sure that we answer your questions today, $5 or more, and we will answer either your Rumble rants, your super chats, your badges, your gifts, whatever it's called on whatever platform you're watching. $5 or more. It is not obligated, but it is very much appreciated, and it keeps us only answering to you, the people. A lot of things to talk about today. Let's go ahead and find out who all is in the studio today. Ladies and gentlemen, Alyssa is here.
Rocking.
All right, come back to me. Actually, I meant to do an announcement. We got copyright struck the other day, so we had to change all of our music. So, disclaimer, before I introduce the next person, he picked this music himself. I am not racist. Ladies and gentlemen, Mexican Tony.
Hey. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Yep.
It's still not moving.
Love it.
Like,
love it. Yep.
All right. Again, if we could come back to me one more time, I want it to be clear. I did not pick the Mexican man's music that's in the studio. He picked his own music.
I sure did. Yes, I
and
did.
up next, everybody's favorite redneck, Hot Seat Todd, is at the show.
What's up, guys? That's all you can get without copyright. That's all
Sounds
you
like
can
you're
get.
getting ready for Daytona 500. And of course, I'm your host, Graham Allen. Boom! I love it.
Hey,
All right.
Everybody's saying they love my music on there. See that?
Of course they did.
Yeah,
I do.
Our listeners are blatantly racist.
That's
Of course
fine.
they love it.
That is awesome. I mean, that
Oh, man,
I'm
that's great.
kidding. I am not racist, Graham. I can see it now. How dare you? I am not racist. Yes, that's my people are mad at me voice. When I imagine people are upset. I'll have you know, Graham, I do not. Anyway, all right, we got a lot of things to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk to you about something that's very, very, very concerning here. And I need you to listen really clearly to me when we talk about this. I know that you guys think that some of this is about making money, but this is actually something very, very serious. This was breaking first thing this morning. 63 American chain banks are being reported to be on the brink of insolvent collapse, according to the FDIC. Now, a lot of people like this guy here, Rowdy, wants to know where's the list of the banks. Okay, you guys want to know who this is. They don't release the list because they don't want you to go to your bank and mass withdraw all of your money, because then that will collapse the banks. Okay, here's the thing you need to know. Let's go down a little bit, Mr. Producer. I want to go to the FDIC comment. All right. For most major banks, I don't believe this to be Wells Fargo or Bank of America. Most major chains like that have FDIC up to $250,000. However, if you're in a credit union or a local bank or a smaller bank, that is not always true. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very serious deal. I am begging you. Guys, this is why. This may be your last opportunity to protect your money. Okay, please text the word Graham right now. GRAHAM to 989898 right now. Our friends at Birch can help protect your money. You need to stop what you're doing and text that name to that number right this second. Let's read a little bit in that statement we have on here, Mr. Producer. Let's go to that. The next one. Here we go. All right. Unrealized losses on available for sale and held to maturity securities. You know what that means? That means that home mortgages are the highest in default they've been in 40 years. Credit card payments are the highest default they've been in 50 years. Auto loan repossessions and all of the above. Those are securities that banks have and people can't pay their bills. That's what they're talking about here. Soared to $39 billion to $517 billion in the first quarter. The surge was driven by higher unrealized losses. What did I just say? Of residential mortgage-backed securities, a result of rising mortgage rates in the first quarter. This marks the 9th consecutive quarter of unusually high unrealized losses since the Federal Reserve started hiking interest rates in the first quarter of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, go back to the tweet. 63 bank chains. And I think this is chains. I don't think this means just banks. I think this is 63 American banks. I think they're talking about bank chains. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's me. I don't know.
For real.
But what I know is that I've protected some of our assets, and I'm begging you to please protect your family right now. Guys, this is more than an ad. This is reality. Okay? We're not making this stuff up. We're trying to help you. Things are getting worse. Whether you believe it's election stuff or whatever, this is how you destroy the entire country. Okay? 63 American bank chains are getting ready to close down. You need to do what you need to do to protect your family. I am begging you. Text the word Graham. That's GRAHAM to 989898 right now. Not later, right now. You can do it while watching this show. 63 banks are going down the tube. 63 bank chains, I believe, is what that's actually saying. I don't think it's 63 banks. I think it's more than that, because I believe chains are involved in this, because the securities are held by the entire bank chain. This is very scary stuff. This is a very, very, very big deal. And my prayer is that you take us seriously on this. Please text the word Graham to 989898 right now. All right, let's get into the NFL. Some teams in the NFL have finally, for the love of sports and the football gods, finally, something has happened that's positive for 11 out of the 32 teams. A growing backlash against the propagation of Pride Month celebrations has come to the NFL after 11 NFL teams announced that their franchises will not be recognizing the woke designation. Comment below your football team and go ahead and blow up the chat right now. Let's see if your team made the list.
Mine did.
All right, Todd, I'm going to let you take the list here. Tell everybody who it is.
All right, roll on down. Well, let's go ahead and just say my team. This is the only good decision Jerry Jones has made.
That's our team.
That's our
Todd.
team. Mine
Our
as well.
The Dallas Cowboys. But in the NFL, that silence was made known by the Pittsburgh Steelers Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, the Tennessee Titans, the Kansas City Chiefs, surprisingly the Denver Broncos, the Dallas Cowboys, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Atlanta Falcons. Those are the 11 teams.
Man, I tell you what, I'm starting to like the Chiefs more and more, and it has nothing to do with Kelsey.
Whatever, it has everything to do
Everything
with
to
him.
do with
You know
Taylor
it.
Swift. We all know it.
That's true.
Yes, I am
He's a
under.
big
I am
Swiftie.
under her
If you're new
demonic
to this
spell.
podcast,
All right,
Graham Allen's a major
but
Here
Swiftie.
we go.
but the leadership of the Chiefs organization, standing behind Harrison Butker. Now you got this. They're not participating. Stupid thumb thing. All right, they're standing behind Harrison Butker. They're not participating in the woke agenda of this thing. I'm starting to like the family and the ownership of the Chiefs organization a lot more. The more and more this stuff goes on.
So do you guys think that more teams are gonna jump on board after
Nope.
they see this big 11 teams jump on there?
I think you got a better chance of losing some of the 11.
Really?
Yeah,
games.
the
think
fact
so,
that
huh?
the
Yes.
fact that Denver Broncos are on there, I think they just haven't unveiled
That's
Yeah.
what I
their
was wondering, though,
plans
'cause
yet.
We're still pretty early in the month, so
Let's just
Well,
hope Jerry sticks to his guns. That's the
Yeah,
rest
that's
of them I
true.
don't care about.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
so far, I mean, I may be wrong. I haven't seen the, and football season is not in season, by the way, as well. And so it's one thing to do it during the football season. You can have a pride, whatever night, well, football's not in season. So these teams are really having to go out of their way. I like the Bills, and they lost me, man, on some big time respect. And I understand it's not the players' decision; it's the organization's decision. Bills did it, and so the Kansas City Chiefs organization. I hope you stand strong on this. Somebody just said, "Go Broncos" in the chat. I hope. I'm just, I'm ready for them to reveal their new uniforms.
Wouldn't you think more so though? It'll be like we didn't participate in Pride Month, but we're gonna have a Pride Night, like to make up for it. That's what I'm fearing. Like they're just gonna do a whole game, like just for all of that.
Well, there's like 170 days out of the year dedicated to some form of the LGBTQ community at this point. So, I mean,
Leave football alone.
Wouldn't shock me. I still will never ever forget during the the BLM stuff. One of the greatest memes that's ever been placed. It was during that season on the pitcher's mound of baseball. They put BLM, and somebody said you had one job, and that was to put MLB on the pitcher mound, and you got it backwards on the thing. It still has to be one of the greatest memes that anyone's ever created in the history of memedom. I don't even know if that's a
Memedom.
word, but
I'm
It
going
is
with
today.
I like it.
It is today.
you're welcome. All right, we got to get into Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, here's what I'm going to say before we play this clip on Dr. Phil. Can we show more than just his bald head? There we go. All right. This is the white Steve Harvey at this point. I mean, him and Steve Harvey are the same person from different spectrums. Okay. Either way, the point is Dr. Phil has come out super base lately. And before we play this, I gotta believe he saw something. I have to.
Well,
I have to believe.
Remember, Dr. Phil went down to the border. Remember, he was down there.
Yeah, but it had to be something before that. Why all of a sudden is Dr. Phil doing all these things? Why is he going to the border? Why is he calling out child trafficking? Why is he starting to do all these things when Dr. Phil's been around for 20 plus years?
Well, he's from Texas, right? Like he's a Texan.
Yeah, but
Maybe
he got famous on Oprah though, and so what I'm getting at is. Comment below. If you believe Dr. Phil saw some stuff, comment in the chat right now. Why? I mean, something had to have he had to have seen something that has sent him down this completely different route that he's going. This is an amazing video from him, in my opinion. He is calling out what has gone on with Donald Trump and the weaponization of our justice system. It's very powerful stuff. Let's go full screen for a little bit, Mr. Producer, and let's play this for everybody.
We're better
Pause.
than that.
Wow. Did you hear what he just said? He's saying the quiet. He just said the quiet part out loud right there. Every one of us normal people, we see it, but for Dr. Phil to have just said what he just said, like this is Gestapo type stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? People mysteriously dying in their recliners. Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil saw something.
He got a peek at that client list or
something wild. Let's keep playing it. This is good. We'll leave it like this for the rest of the clip. But wow, that was nuts. All right, let's pause. All right, comment in the chat right now. Do you agree with Dr. Phil that the left and all the politicians should immediately eliminate all the charges against Trump? Do you agree with that? Comment in the chat. I'm not asking if it would happen or not. I'm asking, do you agree with what Dr. Phil just said? Comment in the chat. Absolutely.
100%.
Okay, so
I know one thing. They're coming after Dr. Phil next.
They're
coming after him next.
They'll be, watch.
Next conspiracy incoming.
Yes, but either way, okay, who do you think Dr. Phil's voting for? Comment in the chat. Who do you think he's voting for? TRUMP. DONALD. TRUMP. Do you know what that means? All right. Donald J. Trump, baby. He's voting for Trump. I don't care what nobody says. What?
I said close enough. You got it close enough.
Hey, if you don't know that song, you probably think, oh, what an idiot. But INDEEPEND.
Do you know what that means?
I know that Dr. Phil said that he wasn't a politician, but didn't he seem like he was speaking just like one? Like I can see the T-shirts now.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil 2028,
You were
2032.
The only thing missing from that statement is I am Dr. Phil and I will be running for president.
I'm Dr. Phil and I approve this message.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
for real.
But you have to
like,
remember,
for real.
his whole career has been on an expertise in human behavior. And so as he's watching these things, I do think he's seen things. I think people also go to him for advice. And I think y'all all said at some point, the older you get, you are able to say more things because you stop caring about what everybody, he's made his millions, he's got his fame, and he's now able to speak what he truly thinks and also what he's seen.
I sometimes wonder what I'm going to be like when I'm in my 60s.
I'm terrified.
Because I'm in my late 30s and I still say whatever I want to say. So I'm going to be that old man sitting on the front porch, like yelling at kids walking home from school, kind of thing.
And I'm going to have like candy going behind you. Here, baby, it's okay.
You're going to be that dude sitting at
anything.
the edge of the pew in church, bashing kids with your walking stick as they walk by.
Dude,
I will not allow it.
I watched Jack Newberry, my grandfather, rest his
sir.
soul, snatch
Yes, sir.
other people's kids up in
true, he
Kmart.
did.
Like, where
Yes,
are your
sir.
parents? And he'd hold them one-handed and walk them to his parents and like, are you going to do something about this? Like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Either way.
That was a great point on human behavior.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good point,
Alyssa.
Alyssa. I loved it very much.
Does it work? Nope.
Yeah, she did it. Wow. Everybody listening on audio, you always wonder, like, why are you even listening on audio anymore? You're missing such an experimentation of what happens when you give rednecks money and cameras.
It's true. There's so many fun things to do.
That's what you're witnessing every day.
You're leaving out the
you're
minority
leaving out the
here, too.
Mexican.
I didn't want to say what happens when you give Hispanics money and cameras, but since Tony brought it up,
What does happen, Tony? What happens
yeah,
when you
tell
give
us, Tony.
Hispanics money?
What happens when Mexicans get money, Tony?
I get to throw out a very racist song in my intro. That's what happens.
Well, there you go.
It's the highlight of his day.
That's right, yeah.
If you guys could only see the chat between all of us, Tony was so pumped for that song.
I
mean,
was super pumped.
That
Yeah.
was his thing. All right, back to Dr. Phil. So I think Dr. Phil's voting for Trump. Even if he doesn't announce it publicly. This is TMZ talking to Dr. Phil, and we probably won't play this whole thing, but I guess Dr. Phil's going to have Donald Trump on. And this is TMZ talking to him about a poll he did that the conviction hasn't really seemed to change anybody's opinion about Donald Trump. Let's play it.
There have been polls, Phil, that have come out over the last day or so, and the needle hasn't really moved that much. And if you think about it, a former president convicted of 34 felonies, facing 4 years in prison possibly, and it hasn't had a seismic or even significantly measurable impact among voters.
Nor
Why
should it.
do you think that?
You're exactly right. And it's interesting. The way I did this today is I have 250 people in the live studio audience, and I had them come in and did a focus group with them before I did the show, because I wanted to know how they felt about this. Did the conviction impact the way they felt about Trump, whether they liked him, didn't like him, whatever? Did it make a difference? And they're consistent with the polls. They said it didn't change how they felt about him. I had comments from people that said, I wonder if when I get to the ballot and it's time to mark that box, if realizing I'm getting ready to vote for a convicted felon as president of the United States, that's going to be when I choke.
Pause.
If it's going to really have
comment in the chat right now. If you're voting for the outlaw, Donald the Outlaw Trump in 2024, comment below. Are you going to change your mind on election day? I'm telling you right now, I'm voting for the first time in my life, and what I fear will not be the last time in my life that I'm voting for a convicted felon. That's what.
Don't you think it make people put everybody, their heels are dug in already? I don't think it's going to change by the time they get there. I think it's going to be very confidently who you're voting for.
Okay, all right, let's keep playing it. Yes, I agree with you. It didn't do nothing, but I love it. The outlaw. Next time Trump walks out at a UFC thing, which we found out yesterday when they deleted the show from Facebook over UFC copyright, that we cannot show the UFC clips, they better have it. President Donald, in quotations, the Outlaw Trump. You want to talk about a shirt? Here you go, people. Here's your first $1 million investment right now. Trump, the Outlaw, Donald, the Outlaw Trump. Boom.
Remember yesterday when I said that a lot of gangsters came out and they were like, "Oh, Donald Trump is a gangster," you know? I'm gonna go vote and I'm gonna have that song playing in the background. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. As I'm voting for him.
All right. Well, all right. Anyway, let's play the rest of this Dr. Phil thing, and then we got to talk to you guys about Nikki Haley. But let's finish this out. All right, here we go.
Impact at that point. And you know what I hope, Harvey, Babcock? I hope this. Let's say Trump does win and gets back in. The last thing we need is retribution and revenge. What we need at this point is this craziness has to stop. It's got to be, okay, look, enough's enough. We need to we got serious problems, and we need serious people to solve those problems. We don't need to be playing tit for tat.
I am so glad you said that, and I really hope you push that issue.
I'm going to push that really hard, because that's the last thing we need. That could be the absolute end of this country as we know it. It's like, hey, it's over. It's time for forgiveness, putting this behind us. I'm not going to start charging everybody on the other side. That needs to stop. We don't need to be weaponizing the justice system. We need to put this behind us and get back to making America the shining country on the hill that everybody aspires to be. We don't need this. This needs to stop.
Pause. All right. I half agree with that.
Yeah, he's a better man than me.
I half agree. The weaponization of our justice system, yes, that needs to stop. Going after these actual degenerate criminals
and pedophiles.
Yeah, exactly. No, they need to be brought to justice. Absolutely. So I half agree with that. I don't agree with the weaponization of our justice system. I don't believe in show me the man, I'll show you the crime. I believe in innocent until proven guilty, but goodness gracious, do we have some people that need to be shown that they are guilty. All right. Real quick, and this is not verified stuff. This is just breaking news of the rumor mill. I pray that this is not true. Breaking report. Rumors are continuing to emerge that Nikki Haley is exploring the options to challenge Donald Trump at the RNC convention post-conviction of Donald Trump. If you think that Nikki Haley should not do that, comment below right now. Don't do it. Nikki, don't do it. You don't have to comment all that. Just comment, don't do it.
It's a lot to comment, babe.
I pray that this is not true.
I don't see how it could be.
I hope it is.
I mean, she's got cojones.
Of course you would,
I
Todd.
pray
for
that
different
I
reason.
pray that I pray that I pray that this is not true because it's
Do it. Put the nail in the coffin of your political career so I never have to see your stupid face again. Do it.
I don't see anything but absolute. I mean, this is like this is the equivalent of like just death to your career, like you know what I mean, and the end of your social life as you know it. I don't know if she'd ever be able to. I mean,
she has to know
she'd
that.
have to move to Detroit
She's
to be
been
able
in
to like walk
politics
around.
for decades. She has to know that. I don't think that's true.
fine.
I don't think she's going to do
Send
it.
I
her
don't think-
somewhere.
I don't think she's going to do it.
I don't think it's true either. I mean,
But
she
we'll
just came
see.
out. Yeah, she just came out and she endorsed Donald Trump and told her
reluctantly.
voters,
Yeah,
reluctantly. No,
reluctantly.
yeah. I know that, but still, I mean, any
It wasn't a resounding endorsement by. I've seen the error of my ways and I've listened to
Yeah,
the
no,
people.
I see that, but any sane person, any person with common sense that see the backing that Trump has got, even after his conviction, would be an idiot to come in
Agreed.
there and try to challenge him at the
yes,
RNC.
I agree. They would have to be an idiot. And
Political suicide. I don't think she's.
she endorsed him before the conviction. And here's the thing. And again, I'm not saying that she is doing it. I'm saying that if she is planning on it, she has teed it up exactly right. She dropped out of the initial race. Then she that stupid thumb thing. She dropped out of the initial race. Okay, she dropped out of the initial race. Then she endorsed him reluctantly and said that you need to appeal to the voters that voted for me. Then he does that and says, I'm going to have Nikki somehow, some way involved in either the cabinet or the administration. And then boom, he gets convicted. Nikki Haley has checked all the PR boxes she needs to check to go and say, because of the extreme circumstances that we find ourselves in, I challenge. And I don't even know what that would look like. Like, are you challenging the delegates at the RNC that's supposed to
They're gonna
formally
duel.
nominate him?
They have a duel. That's
They're going to get swords out?
Okay.
Oh,
What if
that'd be
she's
great.
What if she's doing it like to almost like to threaten that she would go in there and challenge him in order to get a higher cabinet position,
No,
like,
man.
like VP?
This is your stereotypical political whisper campaign so they can get initial kind of feedback from donors. Not
There you go.
me and you. It is proven that Nikki Haley doesn't care about me and you, or she would have never ran against Donald Trump in the first place. This is a whisper campaign in politics to get some feedback from donors. Hey, lady that's about to give $90 million to Trump Super PAC. If Nikki Haley was to openly challenge him at the RNC, would you rethink what you're doing? Like this is what this is.
But I'm with Tony. They have to know. I mean, they've raised $50 million and how many?
200 million.
Or 200 million, but 50
million,
million even in
yeah.
just like the first 24. So yeah, I
But
don't,
is
I
it
don't
one
think
of
she's
those?
that
Is it
dumb.
one of those situations?
She was
Graham,
dumb enough to run against him.
Yeah,
Yes,
is it-
Todd.
but is it one of those
maybe, but she stayed on the
situations-
map. Sorry. Todd.
Yeah, and to agree with Alyssa, is it one of those situations, Graham, where you used to talk about like how Biden would respectfully step aside because of all this crap going on with Hunter Biden, where Nikki kind of slides in respectfully because Donald Trump is, under all these, and she tries to play the game that way? I mean, I don't know. I mean, either way, she's dumb for doing it. So
Either way, but we're all talking about her this morning. So
Well, exactly. And I hope that her team is listening to how many people are saying it would be the dumbest thing that you could possibly do. But we got to move on. All right, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark here, ladies and gentlemen.
My
That
favorite
is Nikki
person.
Haley. There we go, Caitlin Clark. All right. So
look at that picture. How lovely.
what? All right. So Caitlin
talked
Clark,
about
for those
pictures
of you who
earlier.
don't know, admittedly, this tells you the state the WNBA has been in. Alyssa had no idea who Caitlin Clark was.
I don't watch the-
And
who watches the WNBA?
every man on the show knew exactly who
Please
Caitlin
tell
Clark
me
was.
in the chat if you
All
watch
right.
the WNBA.
I don't either, but that is the phenomenon that is Caitlin Clark. Okay, attendance to the WNBA games in person and viewing online, it's like up 6,000% that it's
Indiana
ever been.
Fever. Indiana Fever is up 314% attendance rate right now.
Yes,
from
yeah,
last season.
and it is 100% because of Caitlin Clark. She is a phenomenal athlete. Okay. Now, granted, Michael Jordan would put 3,000 points on her per game, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the WNBA right now. And Caitlin Clark is, I mean, well, you see her. She's a white lady. She's a very respectable young woman from everything that I've ever seen on her. I don't know her personally, but the character that she shows, I don't even know who she's voting for. I don't care. All right. What is happening, though, in the WNBA appears to be reverse racism. There seems to be jealousy across the board. We even talked about the former WNBA player that said that it's because Caitlin Clark is a white, straight female is
Facts.
why she's having the success that she's having.
And pretty privileged. Don't forget that.
And pretty privileged
Pretty
is what they
privileged.
said.
Don't forget that.
Okay, now I want to play what's going on. So on top of everything else, there is envy and jealousy and everything going on in the WNBA. They are trying to end this young woman's career every time she steps on the court. Now, there's been a lot of other, in my opinion, harder hits she's taken so far, but this is the one that's circulating around. So let's play this really quick. The play is over here. Like
This is an inbound. So
Yeah.
they're inbounding the ball right now.
yeah.
So, the ball's not even
they're not
played.
even playing yet.
Yeah.
And let's play the clip here.
And Clark. I mean, that's clear.
Like,
which was
no
called.
reason
The
for that.
question
No
is,
Look,
they
and then
call
you
it
hear her call her the BITCH word and then just
Unnecessary.
blindside her right there kind of thing. And again, now she's had harder hits than that, but that one is circling around because to Todd's point, they weren't actually even playing at this point. This was afterwards. Now, Angel Reese, who made national spotlight last year for facing Caitlin Clark, they weren't in the finals, right? It was the Final Four, I believe, when they played
I
last
think
year.
so,
Final
right?
Four, yep.
Okay, yeah, and she did the John Cena can't see me thing, taunting Caitlin Clark and all this other kind of stuff. She is on the opposite team on the bench over here, and you can see her congratulating her teammate for the cheap shot that she just took on Caitlin Clark. So let's play that. There she is. Oh, good job. Good
Way to
job.
go.
Now, it must be brought out that Angel Reese attended LSU, the inmate university that everybody goes
Facts.
to.
That is true.
Degenerate.
Hate LSU.
Yes. And so this is the character here. Now, this is an interview with Angel Reese where she's basically saying that, like, she's first of all, can we look at her eyes right here?
That's Debo's daughter right there.
That's Devo's daughter. That's good, Todd. I like that.
If we all have a spirit inside of us that represents who we are, that's Angel Reese's right there. But either way, this is her talking about that she is the reason for the uptick in the WNBA. Let's play it.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that. It all
Pause.
started-
No,
Not
it's
just
not.
one.
Yeah.
It's both of
Nuh-uh.
us.
It's because of what you
Me and
did
you.
to the person that actually people are talking about. Like it has
Facts.
nothing to do with you. No one cares about you. No one. They all care about Caitlin Clark, and let's call it what it is.
Can you-
She's white, and you don't like it.
Can you tell people, though, because y'all had to fill me in, I'm sorry,
Yep.
I did not follow this, but how much they recruited her for? Because I think that's a good,
Oh yeah. She's gotten
Thing for people to
sponsorship
know.
deals.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
highest
Ice
ever
Cube
in,
paid her.
in WNBA
It's
history.
like $28 million.
Again,
Yeah.
look. To put it plain, it's the same kind of hate Eminem got when he first came out. White rapper, predominantly
True, yep.
African-American market. They didn't like it. That's not me talking. Go back and watch all the interviews from all the rappers. They're like, yeah, I got to be honest. When Eminem first showed up, we didn't like this dude, like kind of thing. And then eventually you can't argue with talent. That's what's happening here. The difference is they're trying to take this chick out, man. They're trying to eliminate her. And here's another thing I want to say really quick. And we got to get into Pat McAfee taking some heat from his comments about Caitlin Clark. Where are her teammates at? That's my question. Where, if that had been Michael Jordan, okay,
Scotty would have come over the top rope.
Somebody had Dennis Rodman would have had somebody in a monkey clutch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where are her teammates? This is not just the other teams that like are against Caitlin Clark. Her teammates are useless.
Yep.
Where are you guys?
Well, Graham, I think what's going on is that the WNBA has been like this, and now that Caitlin Clark is there, she's over here. So her teammates right now are afraid of everybody else because they've been so not scared, but they don't want to rock the boat when Caitlin Clark is coming in and she's wrecking people. So I just think that they're afraid to back her right now.
What's the point of having a team then? I mean, what's the point?
That's a fact.
I stand with Caitlin Clark, and it's the WNBA, and we all like to make jokes. This young lady is a once-in-a-generation talent that has elevated the WNBA to be talked about on the biggest shows in the world right now, and that is 1,000,000% because of Caitlin Clark. I'm not downgrading the women that have come before her to make the WNBA even a thing. I'm not. But just like Michael Jordan, NBA was struggling to be the number 3 sport in America until Michael Jordan came along.
Facts.
And then it was the solid number 2 solely because of Michael Jordan. There are athletes that transcend just the sport that they're playing. Caitlin Clark is falling into that category very early on.
I will disagree with one little statement you said, that there have been good athletes prior to her, but not on her level. We got to remember when she was in college, she broke a 54-year record. She broke Pistol Pete Maravich's records for all-time points. So she has more college basketball points than any player in history, to include Michael Jordan. Now, don't get me wrong, all the studs go pro after their freshman year, but this is about talent. This is jealousy. Like, it's because of her that these women don't have to fly Southwest to games anymore. They're actually able to get chartered flights to games.
But also, when people hit next level, wouldn't that make sense why they're also trying to foul just like her? She's clearly only doing this because it gets her in the papers, it gets her fame. So it's kind of all, coming to itself.
And I got no problem with the initiation of a rookie into the leagues that they're playing in. But when it's deliberate like this, and especially when the ball ain't even in play,
that's
know what I'm
bounty.
saying?
That's a bounty, is what that is.
Yeah. She has a bounty on her head right now. Yep. And it's not natural competition. No, it's not. She has a bounty on her head.
Is there any recourse? I don't know. Y'all can tell me.
They near bankrupt the entire Saints organization when Sean Payton was
Brett
the coach.
Favre,
for the bounty gate. But
so far, they haven't done nothing.
It's the WNBA. They can't do it. Like they're getting popular. So the only thing the WNBA can do right now is go crap.
Yep.
And I agree with you, Graham. Why is nobody coming out and saying this is racism? Because it is. It really is. I mean, you have one of the best talents ever to come out here. She's white. And this is literally racism, but nobody's saying that out in the mainstream media.
Well, I think you're right because they're scared.
Yeah,
because you can't say that.
You can't.
Yeah, but if it was a black woman coming into a predominantly white league, they would be blasted all over the news. If a Mexican girl would be in the NBA. Not that would happen, but if they were to go into the WNBA and and they started just pounding her, how much flack? How much flack do you think that the WNBA would get? Like, you guys are going after a minority,
right.
blah blah blah. This is
religion or anything
exactly.
else.
But because she's white, nothing.
Again,
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Her teammates are in on it 100%. That's a great point by Tony. But let's get into Pat McAfee here. So we're gonna play like the first couple seconds of this video clip, and then we're gonna get into Pat McAfee's apology. But then I want to play the rest of it because he shouldn't have said what he said here. But in his own way, Pat McAfee was trying to give props to Caitlin Clark. Let's play the first part, and Mr. Producer, you know where to pause it, and then we'll get to his apology, and then we'll come back. Let's play it.
The GOAT. Is she what? I don't know. With my eyes, I couldn't see if she's Caucasian or not. So I think what we're trying to say is what the WNBA currently has is what we like to describe as a cash cow. There is a superstar. And we're not saying that the players on the court need to act any differently. That's the athletes are going to do what athletes are going to do in any sport. And I think we're all learning that WNBA, that's old school football, baby. That is old school football. But I would like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah, just call it for what it is. There's one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar.
All right, so the statement was there's one white bee that is a superstar. Rightfully so. He shouldn't have said it that way. Again, I don't think he meant it in a derogatory way.
That's just Pat McAfee.
This is his statement, and then we'll go back to finish what he said, because I thought what he said was here. I shouldn't have used, quote, the white B word that you can see there as a descriptor of Caitlin Clark. No matter the context, even if we were talking about race being a reason for some of the stuff happening, I have way too much respect for her and women to put that into the universe. My intention when saying it were complimentary, just like the entire segment, but a whole lot of folks are saying that it certainly wasn't at all. That's 100% on me, and for that I apologize. I have sent an apology to Caitlin as well. Everything else I said, still all facts. Let's go back and let's finish the thing here, and let's listen to the rest of it.
And is it because she stayed in Iowa, put an entire state on her back, took a program from nothing to a multiple-year success story? Is it because she would go on to break the entire points records in the history of the NCAA? Not just the women's record by Kelsey Plum, shout out, but also Pistol Pete Maravich's, the dude's record as well. Is there a chance that people just enjoy watching her play basketball because how electrifying she is, what she did, what she stood for, how she went about going, what she went for? Maybe. But instead, we have to hear people say that we only like her because she's white. And she's the only popular because the rest of the rookie class is doing what they're doing. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit. And we think the WNBA, more specifically, their refs need to stop trying to screw her over at every single turn. What you have is somebody special. And we're lucky she's here in Indiana. And that was, guess which, WNBA rookie.
Wow.
Awesome.
Again, I mean, you know, shout out to Pat McAfee. Shouldn't have said what he said, but at the end of the day, it was a solid thing for Caitlin Clark, and I agree. Special talent, it's reverse racism that is happening.
So do you think if he would have added the word bad in there somewhere, like this,
it'd have been fine.
This is one bad white.
It'd have been fine.
Look,
I think that people wouldn't have.
Maybe I disagree. I think people will find any reason. So
he just forgot he wasn't in the Colts locker room. That's all.
Yeah,
like, that's it. He just look. If you've seen Pat McAfee at all, this is just who he is. He didn't mean that derogatory in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That is just how that dude talks.
Anybody listening to the whole segment knows that. But yeah, probably should refrain.
But that's the thing. People who don't
things.
like him, just like anybody, just like you, they clip it. And so that's all I heard in the beginning too, until we listened to it fully, and then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
He actually likes her.
But that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about Lord Fauci here in a minute. This is the point where we remind you to hit that like button. Comment in the actual comment section, not just the live chat. All the live chats go away once it's over. Go back and comment in the live chat. Excuse me. Go ahead and comment in the comment section. Words, Graham, words. Comment in the comment section and make sure to share this far and wide. But we got to get into our next sponsor, and we'll be right back. All right, let's get into Nugenix. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to level with you guys. Getting old, it's not fun. One day you wake up and you just don't feel like yourself. Low energy, feeling cranky, even problems getting out of bed. Turns out these symptoms are all a result of lower testosterone. Now there is a solution, and it's called Nugenix Total T. Lower testosterone can cause many issues in men. Low energy, decreased muscle, increased body fat, problems, like I said, even getting out of your bed in the morning. Nugenix Total T boosts your testosterone levels to maximize your strength, energy, and endurance to take your workouts to the next level. You can turn back the clock and feel like a younger you with Nugenix Total T testosterone booster. You can get a complimentary sample now by texting the word GRAHAM, that's GRAHAM, to 231231 and try it before you buy it. You can get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T when you text the word GRAHAM to 231231. Text now and we'll add a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their most powerful fat incinerator on the house. All you got to do is text the word GRAHAM to 231231. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T plus a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X free when you text the word GRAHAM to 231231 now. All right. I want to say that it is so hard reading an ad. Alyssa's over here like doing hand memes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
I didn't know you were watching me.
I have peripheral vision. Do you know how hard it is to like read through this and not sound completely like a moron?
Wait a minute.
I used to throw
Wait a
stuff
minute.
at
I
him.
have to defend your wife because you scolded us because
For getting on your phone. And then, look, Alyssa's literally doing this the whole time. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but this is all I saw was like,
that's Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
yeah, that's what it was like. You're killing me, babe. You're killing me.
Sorry.
All right, can we focus,
behave.
people?
I'll
We have a
focus and
show
behave.
to bring to folks here. All right, we got to talk about Lord Fauci. Is it possible that Fauci is potentially coming to justice? Comment if you believe that Dr. Fauci should face the justice system. Comment justice in the comment section right now. Now, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. There is some language, and it's kind of ironic because she drops an F-bomb and then says she loves Jesus.
Just earmuff your kids if they're
But,
listening.
you know, I mean, okay. Anyway, let's just play it and hear what she has to say.
In that room? No, absolutely not. I mean, everything I said is correct. It's how the American people feel. It's what we know to be a fact. It's all the evidence has been proven true. We have Jamie Raskin in there accusing us of worshiping Trump, worshiping as a convicted felon. He is a convicted felon. Well, yeah, so is George Floyd. And everybody, and you all too. The media worship George Floyd. Democrats worship George Floyd. There were riots burning down the fucking country over George Floyd. And Raskin is in there saying we worship him. Excuse me, let me correct you, and this is really important. I don't worship, I worship God. God. And Jesus is my savior. I don't worship President Trump. And I'm really sick and tired of the bullshit annex I have to deal with constantly from the Democrats. So that's what we just went through in there. And then they're sitting there, they can attack my character all day long. What's his face in there? Whoever was talking
What's his
last
face?
was calling me insane. But yet we can't say, oh, they're attacking my character. Oh no, it's nonstop BS and annex. You want to know why? The Democrats don't have anything. They're responsible for the lockdowns, forced vaccinations, kids being forced to stay home, people committing suicide, and all the horrors that this country lived through during COVID. Fauci belongs in prison. He should be tried for mass murder, and he should be tried for crimes against humanity. That's how I feel after that hearing. That's how the American people feel.
Now that's a
He's
Pat
right. That
McAfee
is how we
right there.
feel.
That's a Pat McAfee right there.
If you agree with
Man.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, just comment MTG in the chat. Comment
Good
MTG
Lord,
in
man.
the chat.
Spot on.
All right, let's keep going. We got a lot of stuff to do here. What's next? This is Marjorie's response to Fauci's interview, I guess. Marjorie said, no one should get death threats, and I get them all the time. So Fauci's talking about the fact that he receives death threats, and he is saying it's because of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I agree 100%. No one should get death threats. But I kind of want to say, join the club, dude. I probably got 100 since we've been doing this show. Like that's part of this whole thing. Little keyboard warriors want to do death threats. But the fact of the matter is you ruined the lives of millions, if not billions of people. So let's play his little clip here, his little sob story, and we'll all get our world's tiniest violin out for him, and we'll do it in unison. Let's go. Here we go.
I'm still getting death threats when you have performances like that unusual performance by Marjorie Taylor Greene in today's hearing. Those are the kind of things that drive up the death threats, because there are a segment of the population out there that believe that kind of nonsense.
Were you aware that
all by myself?
Anytime you put yourself in
Don't wanna be.
Anytime you put yourself in an elevated position of power, you included, or you put yourself as a forefront as a celebrity, it comes with the territory.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was going to
Like,
say,
yeah,
I never will forget that voicemail you sent me about a year or so ago.
Yeah, man, join the club, bro. Like,
You're gonna be loved.
You're in the public eye. People are gonna send you death. It shouldn't happen. I'm not saying it should, but literally, in the time it took us to clip this reel you're gonna watch here eventually, I've probably gotten 100 death threats. Like, that's just how it works. All right, let's get to Jordan here, throwing it down against Fauci. Let's play this clip.
Prior to that call would have been on the call.
Well, the call was arranged by Jeremy Farrar. You should ask him.
Okay. Did U.S. tax dollars flow through a grant recipient to the lab in China?
I'm sorry. What was?
Did U.S. tax dollars flow through a grant recipient to the lab in China?
Yes, of course. It was
yes, of course.
The Wuhan Institute.
And who approved that award?
Excuse me?
And who approved that award? What agency approved that award?
National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
Your agency approved that, right?
Yes, it did. After.
Did that have anything to do with this downplaying of the lab leak theory?
No.
Nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
What prior to that call would have been on the call?
Well, the
Wow. All right. Did U.S. tax dollars go through a grant to the lab in Wuhan? Yes. Yes, of course. Of course. I didn't approve that. Did you get a poll? I didn't get a poll. Did you get a poll?
I didn't.
Did you? Come in the chat if you got a poll. I didn't get a poll. I didn't ask for my tax dollars to go to a Wuhan lab. All right, let's go to a comparison of Fauci in 2020 to Fauci in 2024. Let's play this here.
The COVID vaccine 100% effective?
I don't believe any vaccine is 100% effective.
So I don't like to see breakthroughs. The fact is, this is one of the encouraging aspects about the efficacy of the vaccine. It'll either protect you completely against infection. If you do get infected, the chances are that you're going to be without symptoms, and the chances are very likely that you'll not be able to transmit it to other people.
The COVID vaccine 100% effective?
Wow. Wow.
I smell something.
Oh my, a 3-year difference. Okay. And everybody's just acting like, oh, we never said those things. Well, we never said this, but here you are one more time. I mean, this is Fauci himself. This is using his own words against him. I wish people did this kind of back research on me to show that I've been saying the same thing about all that stuff since the very beginning. My, oh my, how the tune has changed. All right, this is Greg Gutfeld having thoughts to say about Lord Fauci himself. Here we go. Let's play this clip.
I'm always disappointed by these hearings because it tends to divide, and it becomes like the person becomes a soccer ball that gets kicked back and forth. And I just remember there was a long time early on, if you questioned the draconian response, you were condemned. You were accused of not taking COVID seriously. And I took it seriously, but you saw experts like him choose the short-term benefit of fear over the long-term benefit of restraint. And now we're paying that price. Experts saw incentive in fear-mongering because they were portrayed as heroic. They amplified their media footprint. They got book deals. They got speaking deals. This was an accelerated version of the 30 to 40 years of climate hysteria. If you were a climatologist or a scientist, and you embraced that ideology, you went up. That's exactly what happened here. And the irony of Fauci, he wanted to put people 6 feet apart. He put them 6 feet under. Because remember, that was the foundation of all the enforced isolation, was the 6 feet apart. When you walked by somebody, you would get all freaked out. There were people, you could not see your sick relatives who died. That happened in my family. People with autistic kids that were in the hospital, they could not see them unless you had some kind of power. People in recovery couldn't go to their meetings. There were overdoses. There were suicides. Kids lost a real education. And and why? Why? Can we figure out what was worse? Was it COVID or our response to COVID? Because if we're still going through our response to COVID, and Fauci will not be remembered as the hero that he wants to be, he'll be remembered as a villain.
I agree.
Absolute, man.
Yeah.
That sometimes some people say it better than you ever could, and that was one
May
of them
I say
times.
something?
Yes.
I
Except for Alyssa.
Tony.
Alyssa can say it
I'm
better.
sorry.
Here we
No,
go.
I can't say it better, but I'm sitting here as a mom and like my blood literally boils watching this of everything. Tony knows my nieces were robbed of in school. My little girl didn't get to graduate kindergarten. I still am counseling people who have deep rooted fear of germs, of social. They don't know how to socialize. And yes, there are other things that
Spirits
play.
of fear, for sure.
But COVID and how they responded to it, knowing like they had to sit in hot classrooms with snot and you can't remove your mask. Everything we did to our children, and now they're saying, oh yeah, that wasn't factual, when back then, that's 100% what you were saying we had to do, we were mandated to do, and for nobody to pay the price on that, he should 100% be in jail, and it just, my blood boils that probably nothing will happen to him, and yet, you know, Trump's convicted on all these things.
And
It's
don't forget
ludicrous.
about the kids where school was their safe space. That the
100%.
government turned around and sent them right back to an abusive household
100%.
for an entire year.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
we
I
had
mean,
those cases.
insanity.
DSS cases were flooded. Ask any of our workers. It was horrible. And yet we're just pushing it all on the rug. Like, oh, yep, that was 2020, moving on. No, our youth are not moving on. They're still recovering from all the horrors that you did. Someone needs to pay.
Yep.
When Greg made that comment of what was worse, was it the actual, COVID or the recovery or whatnot? Doesn't that, the response, doesn't that, it reminds me anyways of making a hard choice of when you have cancer or trying to take the chemotherapy, because they both, cancer is awful, and then the chemotherapy makes you even sicker.
Yeah.
It's just worse. The way that Fauci came out and told everybody, the 6 feet across, it was stupid. It really what it was, because nobody. Do you guys remember when people were passing by?
Hold on, all
Yeah.
three of y'all. No, it wasn't stupid. No,
Trust the science,
How dare
man.
all y'all?
Trust the science.
It made no. You want to talk about logic? Everything y'all just said made no sense at all. You want to talk about logic? What about the people in the restaurants that were like, you know what? The virus is here, so you have to have your mask while we take you to your table. But the second you get to the table, we've created this magical sphere around the table to where you can take the mask off. But if you have to make the treacherous journey, Frodo of the Shire, to the bathroom, you have to put the mask back on. And then let's not forget the true heroes of the world. That was like, you know what? It's too dangerous inside of the restaurant. So what we're going to do is we're going to build these apparatuses that are enclosed in the street, and because we've done salt on the door and the demons cannot pass and the germs are not there anymore. How dare you and you, Todd, how dare you say that they are not following? What is wrong?
I never will forget. I was going to one of my kids' soccer games, and walking through the gate, there's a cop there, and he's like, put your mask on. And I was like, for what? We're outside, bro. Like, he says it's a citywide mandate. Put your mask on. I went, dude, I'm not doing it. Mandate doesn't equal law. I'm not putting on a mask. And this dude looked at me. He's like, listen, man, all I need you to do is walk past me wearing a mask, and then you can take it off when you go sit in the stands. What? What? Like, are you
Did I ever tell you what happened to me at CVS? Did I ever tell you, Todd? I had to pick something up at CVS, and back in the day, it was like a hostage negotiation, like going back in there. And
I think it was toilet paper, ironically.
I was going to get toilet paper.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to. This is one. Hand on the Bible, real quick.
Story.
We got to move on, but because we got to talk about the toll this is taking on Fauci. I'm at CVS. I got no mask. The door is locked. They have to let you in. So the guy sees me. I'm knocking on the door, and I'm like, toilet paper. I'm trying to sound out toilet paper to this dude. He's like, mask. I'm like, I ain't got a mask. So he comes, opens the door, and he's like, do you have a mask? I say, no, I don't have a mask. I'm just here for toilet paper. He goes, okay, well, we sell masks here. You're going to have to buy one. But listen, I'm like, okay, well, hand me the mask and whatever. I got to get toilet paper. And he's like, no. The masks are in the back. You got to go walk back there.
Past the toilet paper.
Get the mask. Walk past the toilet paper. Come back, buy the mask, put the mask on to go get the toilet paper. I left. I was like, so what? I got to walk in. Dude, I'm telling you, we will look back. Our children will look back and go, you people had to be the dumbest Neanderthals to walk on the planet to think that stuff worked. But let's not negate the emotional toll that this is having on Anthony Fauci. In fact, none other than I'm being told allegedly that this was a person that went to prison.
42 months.
42 months for January 6th. Okay. This is Anthony Fauci, and this guy, I think, represents all of America to Fauci. Let's watch this here.
Emails, texts, letters of myself, my wife, my 3 daughters. There have been credible death threats leading to the arrests of 2 individuals, and credible death threats means someone who clearly was on their way to kill me. And it's required my having protective services essentially all the time. It is very troublesome to me. It is much more troublesome because they've involved my wife and my 3 daughters.
All right. Again, we're not saying we're not justifying we're not justifying death threats in any way. However, can we go? Can we just rewind a little bit to like a freeze frame?
Yeah, Brad Fellows,
right there.
Brad Fellows is his name, and he wins the internet.
This guy's face is all Americans when it comes to Anthony Fauci.
Yes,
we're so done with this dude across the board. We can't even see straight. All right. We got to move on to Biden's dictator-looking cover. But before we do that, I'll talk to you about Patriot Mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, join myself, Dan Bongino, Glenn Beck, Dana Lash, Sebastian Gorka, Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk. All of us have made the switch to Patriot Mobile. Stop paying the junk fees to all these companies that do not care about your values and they don't share your values. And also, Patriot Mobile has this new technology called Patriot Mobile One. You'll see in this picture here, they got 2 little bar setups. It's called Patriot in America. The one thing they're not making anymore is towers. AT&T, Verizon, they own all the towers. And we all remember where we were in, when AT&T went dark and the whole world and women were lost all over the city and everything. I'm just kidding, ladies. But either way, we all remember where we were. So what Patriot Mobile One, what is it? Tony's cracking up. What Patriot Mobile One does is if you go somewhere and AT&T service is terrible, you can switch to Verizon. If you go somewhere and Verizon's not working, you can switch to AT&T. Your husband, your wife, your daughter will never be lost again. And the curbs are better for it. Either way, the point.
Hey.
I was waiting on Alyssa to say it was absolutely directed at you. Yes. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham right now. Support a Christian organization. Keep your phone, keep your number, upgrade your phone, get a new number. Some of you need to get rid of some people in your lives anyway. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham gets you free activation. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham right now. All right, let's get into Time Magazine's cover. If I've ever seen anything that will go down in the history books that looks like, let's zoom in on this here. I'm also pretty sure that this is not Joe Biden, but that looks like a 1940s
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make him look like FDR or JFK or something like that. That's what they're trying to do.
He looks like he's having a bowel movement.
Like, what's the name of that show where they make like masks and stuff, like
he's
plastics
old.
and stuff? Yeah, he's like 100 million years old.
Again, that doesn't. When was this taken? Like, Todd, you pointed this out earlier. Like, when was this taken? He's a solid 20, 30 pounds heavier in this photo
Well,
than he
Photoshop
was
can do anything.
than he was in the decrepit, feeble-looking video we saw yesterday when Lord Helmet He was putting on that helmet that was 47 times
That's
too
true.
large.
This guy looks like a totally different dude.
Yeah, it don't look anything like
That's
Joe
his stunt
Biden.
double.
Yep,
I
must
think
be.
it's Photoshop.
That's his bodyguard, is what that is. That's Joe Biden. That's what Joe Biden thinks Joe Biden looks like. That's what, that's what that is. Anyway, it's a weird choice for, and somebody said, it looks like the Twilight Zone. You're right.
Yeah.
It does look like the Twilight Zone. Look. Thank you, Mr. Producer. That is not the same guy.
I know.
And
No
or
body.
that is a photo. Yeah, look how skinny he is right here. And go to the Time Magazine photo.
Yeah, look
Dude,
at
they
his
can do
upper body.
He's got some traps in this photo.
He's been working on his
Anything
chest.
with
Check it out, man.
Photoshop, bro. Anything with Photoshop.
The
That's
tie's
probably when he
crooked.
was vice president or something.
Oops.
Alyssa.
I was doing this, but
What? All right. Tie's crooked. That's weird. Anyway, we just thought it was an interesting choice. Let's not make Biden look like a dictator. Hold my beer.
Watch
There it
this.
is. I mean, again, it's weird. All right. Yesterday we talked about the thing of, do you think Trump would actually go to jail? And do you think that they would actually try to put Trump in jail? Comment below if you think that they actually are planning on doing that. I 100% believe it to be true. And don't just take my word for it. Former FBI Director James Comey is on Raggedy Ann,
Peppermint Patty.
Chucky's aunt, saying how they would do it, how they would jail Trump. Listen to this.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put the system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institutions to put him in actual jail?
No. They would just put him in a double wide somewhere out near the fence, out in the grass. Wow. And he would eat there, he'd shower there, he'd exercise there, he'd be away, as Danya Perry said, from general population, but it's obviously doable.
So a lot of people have
Again, they got this planned out, people. It's already planned. For those of you who honestly think that they're not going to put Donald Trump in prison, I don't see how you can think that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They obviously are already planning this out. And don't take my word for it. Let's go to everybody's most hated person, Adam Schiff here. And let's hear what this, poet of our society has to say.
Do you think it would be dangerous for the country if Donald Trump were sentenced to jail?
No.
No, I don't think it'll be dangerous for the country. And we have seen Trump urge mass protests outside the courthouse that never materialized. But nevertheless, this is, I think, what Donald Trump is aiming for. This is essentially his threat that if he gets jail time, that he's going to encourage his supporters to rise up. And we saw the very, deadly results of that on January 6th.
Deadly results of that.
Here we go.
The hypocrisy is crazy.
They're absolutely going to put Trump in jail. I mean, again, and people just need to prepare themselves for it. At this
We'll just
point,
change the location.
I mean, at this point, there's nothing there. All right, let's do a live look in. And the reason that they're doing this is because it is not unknown that Trump is kicking Biden's proverbial butt when it comes to this next election. None more so than younger users on TikTok. Let's go to a live look. Oh, it's over 5 million now. A live look at President Trump's TikTok that he started on Saturday versus Joe Biden, who's had it since February.
Look at the difference when Trump and Biden get new followers. Look at this, jumps up by like 300. That one's jumping up one.
Like 1,
2.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Biden's jump
It jumped
yet.
a little.
It did. It jumped one or
jumped
two.
one.
Well, again, look, I mean, just boom. I mean, it's
dude, that's
insane how
crazy.
many people. Hold on, let's wait just a little bit longer. Oh.
Wow.
Did he go down?
Did Biden lose?
Biden went down. Biden
lose?
went down.
They said, switching. Going to Trump.
Hold on, I kind of want to see what happens next.
Biden
Hang
went
on,
down.
I mean, every time it refreshes, it's at least 80 something.
One at a
Oh,
time.
he went up
He got
one.
one.
Joe Biden went
Good
up
job,
one.
Joe. Way to go, Joe.
Okay,
Nice
either
job.
way, it's insane to me what people are talking about. All right, we're going to end this today because we're going a little long today. I want to get into your questions. We're going to end this on Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's jury has been selected for his trial, which I'm sure they're going to treat him the exact same way that they treated Donald Trump. And I will say that that so far is true because the jury has been handpicked in this one as well. Listen to, now remember, Hunter Biden is an addict. Everybody knows this. He is an addict. And wouldn't it be a conflict of interest to have people on the jury that have a natural predisposed bias or sympathy towards people that struggle with addiction? You would think that would be the case, and those people would not be on the jury. However, this is our justice system. Jesse Waters breaks it down. Play it.
News reports one juror's childhood best friend died from a heroin overdose. Another juror has an alcoholic brother-in-law. He called it a disease. Brother-in-law is now dead. One juror's dad was shot dead, and his brother was arrested for narcotics possession. Another juror pled guilty to a DUI. Another juror had an older brother addicted to PCP and heroin, but doesn't think people should own guns if they're addicted to drugs. Although another juror says weed's no big deal and you should be able to buy a gun on it. No. And another juror worked for the Secret Service. Her husband still in the Secret Service. Ashley Biden reportedly smiling when she heard that. Oh, and there's an Obama donor as an alternate. News report.
Sweet.
Wow.
Great.
What do you got to do, man? I mean, at what point? And I know we try to be as positive as possible on this show, but that's obviously a biased jury. Yeah. Like, how can that even be possible?
Is this trial going to be in New York as well? Or do we not know?
I honestly, that I don't know.
I say we move it to Texas.
I don't think it matters because the jury, that's at least half the jury that has a natural sympathy bias towards addicts in a positive way. Like, oh, you know, I feel sympathy for addicts and addiction is a disease, which I'm not saying it's not, but dear goodness, man, you need people that ain't had to deal with no addiction in their lives, period, a family member, close member, whatever, so they can sit there and listen and not have an emotional attachment to what they're hearing.
Well, I hope the judge they select gives them the same instructions they gave to Trump. Like, oh, you can have 4-4 or 2-2, whatever you want. It's still going to be unanimous.
Just pick.
No, watch. They'll say you have to agree unanimous on everything.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
go ahead, Todd.
If you're in jury selection, all right, if you're a part of that, who stands up and says, I'm an addict? Like, I've been on jury duty several times. That question never came up.
No, but they asked them questions. So obviously,
questions if it's prone to that charge or what the charges are.
Yeah, but so obviously they asked them this question and they answered that way, and normally that would eliminate them.
Yeah, exactly.
From the thing,
Let's say we want the drug addict from the Bronx. We want the drug addict from right down the road. Oh, that homeless guy that's got a needle in his foot. Yeah, get that guy. Bring him in.
It literally sounds like a Saturday Night Live.
Oh, it does.
It's like having somebody that is on trial for assault, right? Okay, and again, they should be found guilty in court. But then you have the jury where over half of them have been assaulted in their lives, and those are the people that are going to render a non-biased verdict against this person. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to eliminate. Now, you can't stop people from lying, but these people didn't even lie. They're like, yeah, you know, my brother is an addict, and he actually died. It's a disease, and you know, they can't help it once it gets a hold of them. That person is going to be the...
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like, so, juror number 12, how do you feel about drug addiction and drug... Well, counselor, let me just tell you, you know, it's okay with me. Hang on a minute.
What? Sorry. Oh man, my arm's sore from this morning's injection. Either way, all right. That's all we have for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. This is the point we're fixing to get into your questions. I'm gonna have Todd read them because I can't see. All right, but. I can't. For those of you who don't know, it's not glasses. My camera is here, and right next to it is the same kind of lights that are in a tanning bed, and I'm just staring at it the entire time. And so it's shot by the end of the day. This is the point where we remind you, if you enjoyed the show, please like this video. And the more you like it, the more people see it. If this is your first time watching, make sure to hit the follow or the subscribe button. Make sure to share this far and wide. And do me a favor right now. Go back and leave a comment in the comment section. The second this live is over, all your live comments go away. Go back and leave us a comment in the comment section. We do so love to go back and read and hear your thoughts. All right, Todd, we got a couple of questions today.
A few of them here.
Let's bring them up.
All right, let's start off with Stephen Henry 3908. This question's already been answered. Producer Jake is the secret producer. # throwback. No.
No, it's not. It's not Jake. Jake is happy doing the job he's doing now. We remain good friends, actually.
Yeah, I love Jake.
But no, it is not Jake. But good guess. I guess it's a good guess. It's a former producer, I guess. And so anyway, all right. Next,
from Brenda Renee, as an Iowan, I am so over the bounty on Caitlin Clark's head. She's bringing revenue to the WNBA and many more spectators. She is far from racist and always gives props to her teammates. Just play ball.
Absolutely. That's a great comment. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
sad what's happening.
I agree. That's why we brought it up.
Yeah. From Striker J.
Striker J.
I think Dr. Phil is part of our defense plan. Just like Elon waited to share who he supported, I think Phil is doing the same. There are many leftists that love him. He can sway voters to the Trump train.
Interesting. All right.
He always has those good moments.
He always has,
Right,
good thoughts.
Lewis 2387, totally off topic, but I live in Urban, Missouri.
Jupiter.
Or no,
Sorry.
Urbana, Missouri. Is that Urbana, Missouri? And everyone around here is having phone issues with Verizon. Can't make calls or anything again. I'm really wanting to switch to Patriot Mobile now.
Do it. Patriot. That's exactly what I'm talking about. PatriotMobile.com/Graham, promo code Graham. They got Patriot Mobile 1 where you can switch back and forth between the networks.
It really is
there
genius.
you go.
That is
All right.
smart. That is really
Genius.
smart.
I don't know.
From It's Me, Samantha. My psychologist pulled me to the side and told me to homeschool our child. He said he counsels kids every day in school, and it's bad. He said he works with the BOE, and he sees what's coming. I don't know what BOE means.
Board of Education.
Board
There
of
you
Education.
go. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I actually do that. If you can, you should homeschool or put
Get
them in a
your
school that's
kids
private that you trust. It's only going to get worse, and I hate to say that, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think anybody like what makes you have any belief whatsoever that things are going to improve in the public education system? All right,
One more year.
All right, next.
Well, unless you have good teachers.
Oh, sorry.
The good teachers.
Except for good
Tony,
Thank you.
We've
Thank
had
you.
this fight.
I know
Tony's
we have.
daughter is a teacher.
Well, wait, let me
Here we
caveat.
go.
The good
Here we
teachers
go.
don't stay, Tony. They don't stay.
Wait. Some good teachers do stay, and they're needed because not everybody can do this path.
The ones
so we
that are
need
like 3
good
years from
teachers.
retirement stay. All
No.
the new teachers, they don't stay.
There are some, of course, that are lifers and who stay, and we need those good teachers. But if you can and have the ability to, you should.
99.8% of teachers that are good don't stay.
Here we go.
Let me rephrase. 0.02.
Fine. Well, we're
0.02
we're
of you
thankful
stay.
for the good teachers that
and
do stay.
You deserve
Yes.
a
We
love
medal
you.
and a holiday.
Yes.
And you do.
Named after you.
Extended
I'm not
vacation.
even.
If you're
I'm
Catholic, the Pope should pay you a visit.
Thank you, Lexi, for
bless
staying.
you.
We love you,
Not
Lex.
even doing it. Not doing it.
All right, next.
Little J Rod 90. Graham, a year ago or so, you said you were only going to do Dear America for 2 more years. That still the case, or have plans changed? I hope they have, as you are too important to Christianity and conservatives.
Oh, that was nice.
I tell you what, that is that's
It's a
actually
very
pretty
loaded question.
Well, that's also pretty crazy. Admittedly, I mean, what we have talks internally, and honestly, just the other day, I was talking to Tony. Everybody here knows that is what I said, that we're going to get through this election, and we will see where things stand from that point. My answer to you is I'm never going to just lie to you guys. I don't know. What I said almost 2 years ago, it's crazy that it's coming up on that time, was I'm not sure that you're supposed to have this torch for forever. Same kind of thing I feel about politicians. I don't think that you're supposed to do it for forever. And I still believe that because you can only be a warrior for so long. You can only you can only not be so jaded for so long. And so I don't know. That's really weird that question popped up because
it's kind of funny because I can't remember what you said 10 minutes ago. These people remember what you said 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that's good stuff right there.
And so my answer is my promise to you, the viewers, is that I am going to keep doing this until, hopefully President Trump is elected and we keep the House and the Senate. And then, me, my family, Alyssa, and everybody here, we're going to have a meeting and we're going to talk about what we think and how we feel. And do we still believe that we are more of a positive than a negative and all the above.
And we're going to pray.
And we're going to pray about it. And so, no, my mind hasn't changed yet. That's so weird, Tony. We just talked about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Graham, if you don't mind me saying, we've had conversations before of how doing the show does affect you because there's so much negativity out there. I mean, we go through a lot of stuff. I mean, people don't understand that we go through tons of articles that we want to talk about, but we have to research a bunch of it. And a lot of it is very negative and stark. Yeah, you're right, Liz. So it is very weighing on you, as a person, to do this kind of show, and I've only been doing it for, since January. And sometimes I go home and I'm like, oh, that show was tough.
Heavy.
It's going on 10 years.
Wouldn't it just be amazing for once? Like if Trump gets the bid in November, for us to all get together and just do our research and it's all positive stuff. like it's not soul-wrenching decisions made by an administration that's just awful. That's my hope and prayer right there.
That'd be amazing. I
like
wonder
we
if people would
continue
keep
to
watching
do
them.
this. Yeah.
If it's all positive, would you still be here? Comment in the chat. I'm curious.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Graham.
No, it's good. And I saw somebody in the chat say when you carry a torch, you don't put it out, you hand it over to somebody else. Which I don't disagree. And so all of that goes into, the thought process as well. And so anyway, my promise to you guys is we're here through the election and we're going to fight and inform just like we do. But that statement is still the same. We will see, from the moment the election is over, getting ready for the first of what would be 2025, which would make 10 years on the dot for me doing this. We'll let you know. And so anyway, but we got a lot of fighting left to do. Next.
Striker J, yet again. Outlaw, not bad, but there's no one tougher than the Duke. Hear me out.
The Duke.
Donald John Wayne Trump. And yes, Nikki Haley's trying to take over. Heard it from several outlets, and he put a middle finger to Nikki. There it is, right there.
That's one of my dad's favorite movies.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
From Kilo, $100 donation.
Hey,
$100 donation. Thank you very much. Todd, what is the microphone in your background? Any special meaning? Yeah, it was cheap.
It's beautiful.
We're trying to fill up the walls, people.
Yeah, it was cheap. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Could go with a bear in background. Beautiful.
Yeah. From ESP Brian 87. Hey guys, I love the new setup with the studio. Now I'm going to go back a few episodes where you brought up going by your middle name. I asked ChatGPT what your first name was. Steven ? No, that's not
Nope.
But
don't.
for a low fee, I'm telling you guys.
A low fee.
Low fee. I'll tell you.
I will say I've been blessed because when I travel, no one has any idea who it is. Because
that's my thing. How in God's name you've been doing this 10 years and nobody knows your first name is... Just kidding.
Ha ha ha. Eugene.
Eugene Bartholomew.
Right. Yeah, Eugene Hunt. Eugene Bartholomew Hunt. All right. All right. Next.
From Ratchet, voting outlaw Donnie Wales 2024. There it is. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I do have to find it funny if we can just go back real quick. I find it hilarious that you guys are so intrigued by some of the things we say. Like you go and you try to find it out. Like Graham's not his first name. Oh
my God. I got to ask. Hold on. Let me ask Siri real quick.
It wouldn't be too hard to find it.
Siri, what is Graham Allen's first name?
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm curious.
Don't you dare.
Does it pop up?
Anyway,
lay that one alone. Anyway,
moving
from
on.
Constantine.
Dear goodness, help me.
From Constantine.
This is why I'm quitting right here after the election, because I have to deal with this from everybody. all the time.
Phil called it out straight, but his solution is the coexist bumper sticker. Guess what? One of those symbols wants to kill all the other symbols. Same with the oligarchs want us all dead slaves. I can't really disagree with that statement. As my dad says, consequences teach. The lack of consequences also teaches. Until we put a bunch of politicians and deep state actors in prison for life, nothing will change. Hillary, Biden, Fauci, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't disagree. They need consequences. Once you know you can get away with something, what's stopping them? Nothing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Striker J yet again. Per shift nonsense, inside intel, Portland area ramping up. BLM, Antifa, recruiting and training magnified. They will be pretending to be Trump supporters when they lock him up. You heard it here first. Whoa.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's your stomping ground, Tony.
Hello. And that's it.
All right.
Unless we have some from like
Portland,
YouTube
Maine.
and
They're
Facebook.
definitely not.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
All right. I can't see that. Oh, yes, I can.
Love that you're on YouTube.
Hold up. All right, here we go. Heather learns to get her groove back.
Ooh,
Love that you are now on YouTube. Rumble would freeze all the time. Love you guys, but my favorite days are when Alyssa is on with you.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank
Heather.
you. There were some people talking crap about Alyssa
They were. I
yesterday.
stopped reading the
And
comments.
she had to stop reading the
I did.
comments because people just suck. So
'Cause I'm a big
I'll
baby.
get good
are
husband points for a
mean.
minute. If you got some problem with Alyssa being on the show, you can go to another
Wait a minute.
show.
Wait a minute.
Thank you, baby.
Heather literally just said we suck without her. So you
And
know,
I'm
yeah.
okay with that. Thank
yeah,
you,
you're
Heather.
okay with that, but what about us? We're like, what?
You're fine. You're what is it? Strong skin. What do you call it?
Thick skin.
Thick
skin. It is.
Thick
Strong
skin.
Thick skin.
Any
No,
more?
I'm
Any
not.
more left, Mr. Producer?
Yeah.
Almost.
Nope. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Somebody said, give us a hint about your first name. All right. Here we go. You ready? It's like a riddle. Mine and Todd. Don't say anything, Todd. Mine and Todd's dad. My dad and Todd's dad both have the same name.
True.
So my dad's first name is my first name. So there you go. There's you a way to figure something out. So if you can figure out our dad's name, and then you can look up my dad's first name, that's
go.
my first name. So there's you a little thing.
If I had a
I
sign,
know.
if I had a sign that said a question mark, I'd be like, what?
See?
My father,
Squared.
my father and Todd's father
Write this
Have
down.
the
both
same-
have the same
same
name.
name.
Multiply it by
My first name is the same
Ooh,
as my
somebody got it
dad.
right.
Carry the two.
So there you go. You know, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
or you
Obviously,
could just pay Todd.
obviously somebody knows our father's first names.
Oh.
Well, no, it's not my dad's first name. That's why I said
Yeah, right.
our dads have the same name, which somebody already knows. It's Michael. But my dad's first name, because he goes by his middle, is my first name.
Got it.
That's it.
You didn't know that my dad went by his middle name? Yes, you did.
Did I? I don't know.
Okay. Either way. All right. 15 years. There you go.
sorry.
Learning
That's not what
something
I
every
call him.
day. All right. That's all we have for this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This was fun today. I feel like it was a little more loose today. It was a little tense yesterday. But either way, we appreciate you guys. Please make sure to hit that like button and go back and leave us a comment in the comment section. There is nothing more embarrassing than literally there's been like 4,000 live comments today, and then there'll be 2 once the episode actually airs there. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Alyssa, while she's on her phone now,
Yeah. Ha, ha,
Mr. Producer. Oh no! All right, Alyssa, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Good
all
afternoon.
right, Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana.
Todd, say goodbye.
See you guys.
All right, let's pray this thing out. Dear Lord, we thank you for the day. We thank you for waking us up today. Lord, we know that we need you, Jesus, and we know that times are trying now. We see the issues in our justice system. We see the issues tearing the fabric of our nation apart, and we know that you are the only answer for that. But we also know, Lord, that there are people who are dealing with real issues, whether that be anxiety, depression, marital issues, addiction, all of the above. Lord, we know that deep down what they don't need is a person or a place or anything. They need you. Lord. And so we ask that your hand be around them of protection, Lord. And we also know that there are people listening right now that maybe don't know you, and they've decided that now is the time that they want to invite you to be the Lord of their life. Lord, we also realize that some people have made that decision but have fallen away from you. So right now I invite everyone to pray the prayer that I pray every single day. And that's, dear Lord, I ask you to forgive me of my sins, both known and unknown. I ask you to make my heart brand new today and every single day from this point moving forward. I don't want you just as my Savior. I want you as the Lord over my life. From this moment forward, every step I take will be the footsteps that you want me to make. Lord, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your grace. And I thank you for sending your only son, Jesus, to die on the cross for us so we may spend eternity with you. Today we're new. Today we are a brand new creation in you, through you, for you. And we love you and we thank you. And all God's people said,
Amen.
And that's all we got. I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.